Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing another movie review, so hopefully you find this one interesting. This movie is a horror film from the United States, English language, released in the year 2018, directed by Gregory Plotkin, and this film is called Hellfest. So Hellfest is the name of a horror theme park. You've got people who go on rides or go through mazes, and hired actors who are dressed up as clowns or zombies or vampires. They jump out and they spook people, and so this is something that is very popular, and on this occasion you've got a group of friends who have got VIP tickets who are just going to have one hell of an evening. So unfortunately that fun evening is going to be an evening of survival, as they realise that there is a masked lunatic in this theme park that is actually killing people for real, and now he's got the group of friends in their sights. And so as they're trying to convince the authorities that this guy is really killing people as opposed to just being a hired actor, they start to disappear one by one. And so the surviving friends, because the authorities don't believe that this person's killing them for real, they just believe that they're getting a little bit too scared. They have to fight off this masked killer by themselves, and at the same time try and make it out of this maze that is basically turned into their worst nightmare. So whether or not they can live to tell the tale is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Hellfest. The best way I can sum up this movie is that I thought it was a very lazy horror film that didn't realise how good it could have been. Now, there are a lot of ideas in this movie that I thought were very good. I thought the overall setting in the theme park was the idea. It had the potential to be an absolutely fantastic horror film. It had the opportunity to be a very suspenseful horror film, and a horror film that plays tricks on your mind. So you've got a theme park where you've got hired actors who are paid to jump out and scare you. And I thought there were some fairly effective moments right at the start of the film, is because I thought, did this person really get killed, or is it just basically a hired actor doing his job properly? And I thought that could have been the theme to the whole film. This could have been a film where it's playing tricks with you. Is that person really dead, or is it basically all part of the show? And so I thought Gregory Plotkin had an idea there, but I don't think he realised he had the idea there, because he goes in a completely different direction that makes the film very lackluster and so disposable. So the overall cinematography I thought was good. There's a strong horror theme to the film, and I think as far as slasher movies are concerned, it does tick the right boxes as far as simplicity is concerned. So you don't have characters you relate to. It's all about kills, and it's all about cathartic moments as far as seeing irritating people die in the most horrible ways, and that's part of what makes a slasher film work. You've got Friday the 13th. It wasn't about the characters. It was all about how these characters are going to meet their grisly demise. And so I thought in Hellfest there was a kill at the start of the film that I thought was very good, and it really set the tone. I thought, alright, well, this is going to be a movie where I don't have to use my brain, but I'm just going to watch the carnage unfold in front of my eyes, and I'm just going to find it very entertaining. But unfortunately, the entertainment value in this movie is non-existent, because I thought as though Gregory Plotkin was very, very lazy in telling his tale. This is a movie that is clear indication where it's just riding off the success of the slasher subgenre, in that you've got a killer. I thought that was fairly interesting, but nothing is really explained about this guy to an extent where I thought that it was worth it. I thought the characters were incredibly irritating, but there was only one memorable kill in the film, so the cathartic violence is non-present. And I thought that the overall potential within this horror theme park was non-existent. It didn't really use it. The first 10 minutes I thought there was curiosity there that made it creepy, but then as the movie goes along, you know what's real and you know what's not. And so because of that, it has all of its aces very early, but it doesn't use those aces to make a film that stands out from the crowd. Is that it's competently made. I thought that there is potential there, but unfortunately the director wasn't able to utilise that potential to snowball this movie to an effect where I thought as though it was a horror movie that I'd recommend. So I'm not a massive fan of slasher films, so if you are a fan of slashers, you might get a little bit more out of this than I did. But for me, slasher movies have impressed me recently. Is that okay? They've got very impressive kills, seeing idiot characters die in horrible ways, and even some slasher films had relatable characters, which makes it scarier. But this movie just didn't have anything. It didn't have relatable characters, didn't have very good kills, and I just thought there were moments that were fairly effective in creepy set pieces, but nothing was ever, it didn't really do its homework. It didn't really try too hard to scare you. It's a movie that didn't really have too many scares. I wouldn't call this a scary film at all. And so because it doesn't have the ability to work on something in a very passionate way, it just feels like it's going through the motions. It's capitalizing on what is a very successful subgenre of horror, the slasher, but basically it's an indication that you need a little bit more work to actually make a slasher work, and unfortunately this is not an example of that. So overall, for Hellfest, I'm only going to give this one star. I thought it was very ordinary. Skip it. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.